right. Well, I appreciate you coming in and talking to us today. So we go back a long way.
Yeah, we do.
How far back? When did we first start working together?
Gosh, I had lap band. I had it out longer than I had it in, I think. How long ago was it? It was before the national championship started. It was before 2016.
It was well before that, I think. It was probably 2012 or something like that.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So you had a band put in at the time, and what was your decision to even get that surgery, and then what kind of led you to do a different surgery later?
I wanted bypass surgery back then. My husband was very concerned. He had heard stories, bad things or whatever, and I talked with you. I came in for a consultation. I think I went to one of the orientations, and I heard about the different things, and I told him about both, and he said, "Well, why don't you do the lap band?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I talked with you about it, and you talked about all the pros and cons of it, and we decided to go with that, and it worked at first.
Yeah, I think you were. Yeah, how much did you know?
I lost like 50 something pounds.
Yeah, you did well. Yeah, in the band we don't do anymore. It's not that it's a bad surgery, but too many people had issues like you. Some weight was coming back on.
I was drowning in the GERD.
And then it starts having reflux. So you can only keep the band so tight, and so.
And I remember you telling me one time. You told me, and I remembered this, and I've told this so many times. Vicki, I can't make the hole so small that melted M&Ms and milkshakes won't go through it.
Sweet tea's gonna still go through it. I'm talking sweet tea or those kind of foods.
Exactly.
And so, all these things are just tools at the end of the day.
Right.
And the band wasn't a bad surgery. It's just it was. I always call it an inconsistent surgery. It's too many people had issues that we stopped doing it years ago. And a lot of people did really well with it, but it was a lot of maintenance.
Right.
And then too many people like yourself.
Well, we had to release it. And then I put all the weight back on.
Yeah.
And then I was too embarrassed to come back in.
Well, and then you can only tolerate it so tight.
Right.
That was the whole problem with it.
Right.
And so you start trying to tighten it down so you lose weight, and then you're flipping into reflux again.
Right.
And so.
Right. I was waking up literally with my sinuses full.
Right.
And so we released it. I was gone. It was released for quite a while. Then I came back in last year, and we tried it again.
Yeah.
And the reflux started right back up. It just didn't work. And I came back in feeling hopeless. And I was like, and you were like, because you knew I'd tried. You had seen me
try. You were very compliant.
Yes.
It wasn't a compliant. That's the thing. Sometimes people didn't do well at the band because they didn't try. They were making good choices, or they weren't coming. That surgery in particular required a lot of maintenance and follow-up to do adjustments. And so if they weren't doing those adjustments, it wasn't going to work.
I was doing them.
Some people could do everything perfect, and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
And that was the frustrating thing about that surgery is that you were doing everything you could, and it just wasn't. Your body wasn't tolerating it well, and so. We pivoted to another option. And
my husband went along this time.
Yes. So.
He was, I went home and told, I think you said, I've done thousands of these, and I've never had a problem. And at that point, he knew you went to Clemson, so he trusted you. He didn't know before.
That's right.
So we went with the Roux-en-Y, and best decision I've ever made.
Yeah, I've never had anyone who made a conversion from a band to another surgery, and they're never in my career they've been like, what I miss is my band. Like you're like you're done with that thing, and you're so ready to flip into the other surgery.
So glad.
Yeah, the bypass has just been such a, especially for you with the reflux. It does treat reflux.
Yeah.
Generally, whatever problem you're having with the band, it just takes
it's gone. So. Well, and from the day of the surgery, I have not had one glitch. Not even. I mean, I didn't take any pain medicine in the hospital at all. When the guy came in they were checking my medicines, and he said, I need to go to the bathroom, and he got me up to go to the bathroom, and he's heading back to the bed. I said, can I not go walk? Because I remember y'all saying walking's the best thing, as soon as you can, as much as you can. And he walked me down this little short hall, and I got back to the room, and I said, is that all I get to walk? He said, you want to walk more? And I said, yes. So he walked me to the very end of the hall and back, and he said, you're fine. Get up and walk as much as you want.
He passed his test.
So then, and it was St. Patrick's, the day after St. Patrick's Day. And so I got to grab walk. I walked back and forth. Then I'd walk the circuit. I knew all the nurses on the floor, and they'd say, "Here she comes again." I'm like, looking for my pot of gold, kind of thing, looking for that, getting that weight off. But never had any of the gas. Never got home. I'd walk back and forth down my driveway about every hour and a half. I think I wasn't supposed to do it, but every 2 hours. But I cheated a little bit. And did it about every hour and a half.
Yeah, I think sometimes you make a decision with a weight loss surgery and you try to maximize it, get the most out of it. But it's just there are times it doesn't work, and you just need to pivot. It's just like anything else you have. I've seen some doctors that only do one surgery. I think that's insane. I just think that doesn't mean anything. Like you wouldn't do that. Give a diabetic one diabetes medicine. Like, well, if that doesn't work, it wasn't diabetes. It's just the same thing. You just keep hitting it, and this one it's been, I think, the right choice.
Oh,
tell me about some of the results and how have you done since then?
Well, I immediately started losing. Obviously, the plan for the liquid diet at first, and then the pureed foods or whatever, the little baby foods or eggs or whatever. It all went well. I didn't feel deprived. I wasn't hungry at all. And then, of course, getting on regular foods. And I ate like a teenage 14-year-old boy beforehand. Fast food was my go-to. Junk food between meals. Can't do that anymore. I think I posted on the website one day that one of the biggest negatives of this surgery is I'm out of fast food napkins in my car. Because you don't realize till you spill it. Right. And I'm looking, I'm going, I haven't been to a fast food restaurant in 3 months. I have no more napkins, kind of thing. So I had to buy a roll of paper towels for my car. I know that sounds crazy, but
you're right. They're always there.
They're always there.
Yeah, always have extras.
I remember sitting in church one Sunday. I'll get emotional saying it right now. I looked down and my legs were crossed. And I started crying and took a picture. It had been so long.
Those milestones, they seem not a big deal if you don't have a weight issue. They're massive deals when you do.
Well, like I said, you see me emotional right
now. Going into a department store and shopping where you want to, or crossing your legs, or sitting in a booth at a...
or people talk about the airplane.
Yeah, the airplane.
Having the extension.
Those are huge deals.
Like I say, I'm crying and I'm doing this to my husband. He looks at me and said, "What's wrong?" I said, look at my legs, awesome. Kind of thing, And I think I posted that on the website too. I love the Facebook page because I'm usually posting goofy, funny things on there that has to do with the weight loss and things that happen. But I've tried to be consistent. One of the things I have a great therapist that's helped a lot, and I got her before I had the surgery. I wanted her to know me, so that when bumps came along, she would know whether it was a result of the surgery or whether it was just issues with me. I asked for someone who had a bariatric background and someone that had some of the same life experiences I do as far as church and some pressure. This woman's a jewel. I see her every week. And helping me to be intentional. I didn't realize how much of my food was... I would have always said, no, I'm not an emotional eater. I'm strong. I am a very emotional eater. Yeah,
it's a common thing. People use it for stress and emotion and all. And you don't even realize you're doing it sometimes. It's just gets to be a habit. And we take that away a lot of times. And so you're still going to have stress and emotions in your life. Right. And so you always want to channel it into something healthy and identifying, I'm still going to have this, so how am I going to deal with stress now?
Right. And a lot of it's up here.
Yeah.
You can stop yourself or have someone restrict. I cleaned out everything in my house. Yeah. So it's not like my trips to the pantry, which I found are automatic. The days I spend at home not doing anything, I'm just watching TV or just hanging out, I find myself getting up and walking to the pantry or walking to the refrigerator, and I'm standing there going, "You're not hungry. What are you doing?" Yeah, those are habits, And it's hard to break, and your body is, it's still sensitive to food because of exercise. We don't, medically, we don't know how to fix it. It's not a fair and balanced way that we're wired. There's people that live over here that can get away with garbage all their lives and never have an issue. You're over here. I'm not one of them. So you got this wonderful tool to help you deal with being over there. Yeah. And so you still have to do the right things. You have to eat
right and try to, you're always going to eat a little bit better and exercise a little bit more than the average person, but they got this tool to really help make that easy. Yeah. It makes the diet part of that diet exercise.
Well, and it's before walking was so difficult that it was hard to get on a walking, when you've lost 30, 40 pounds, walking is, people are having to keep up with me for a change.
And then that just creates more.
Exactly.
You're seeing results, and it's right before surgery. It's like you just get frustrated. You work hard, and you're like, I gotta lose 3 pounds. Like I gotta lose 80. Exactly. It's frustrating. You're seeing like results quick with this. I mean, that's even as opposed to the band, which was historically a very slow weight loss.
Right.
This is coming off.
This went really quick at first, for sure.
Yeah, that first 3 months is
awesome.
It comes off fast,
awesome.
And then it starts slowing down.
Yeah, some of my friends call me the incredible Shrinking Vicki kind of thing. And I've had some stresses. Lost my best friend, who was actually a patient here also years ago. And so the weight loss has slowed down. Yeah. Some of it because I've been busy, some of it not exercising as much as I should, which I'm, and I understand those things. Also understand that, the cortisol thing and all that kind of stuff, whatever.
Yeah, there's still going to be life and things you got to deal with. And so it's not like the weight loss is the root of everything wrong.
And the scale can become your biggest, it's your biggest friend the first 3 months because you're like, woohoo, every time you get up, you're so and then it starts becoming your adversary.
Yeah.
Because if you get on the scale and the weight's not gone like you want it or like you expect it, then you start getting frustrated. And then people with weight issues, what do you do when you get frustrated? You go eat.
Yeah.
And so somewhere along the way, I decided, I haven't done any measurements. So I'm going to measure. And so I measured everything. Went a couple months with no real weight loss on the scale. And checked my measurements, I'd lost 11 inches.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, because muscle weighs more than fat. I know that up here, but you're still looking at the scale and you're wanting to be your friend. You wanted to say what you wanted to say.
Right.
And it wasn't. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to keep up, kept doing my thing. After another month or so, still no change in the scale numbers. I said, okay, I got to measure again. So I measured again. I'd lost 8 more inches. So I've now realized that the scale, though it is a tool, I'm not really interested in the numbers anymore.
Yeah.
I feel good. I'm healthy.
Well, you have lost weight.
I have lost a lot of weight. I lost 66 pounds.
We do see this, as you start working out and doing more stuff, you're putting on muscle as you lose fat, and that sometimes does tend to level off the weight loss. And it's the best thing you can do. Often you'll trickle along for a while, then it'll start going down again.
Right.
So, this is when we're this first year we battle mostly trying to get you to eat more.
I know.
That's the biggest. That's usually the number one reason for the stall. It is hard, but that does naturally every few months that gets easier and easier. So that problem fixes itself. But in the meantime, it just causes this kind of stalling out of the weight loss.
I mean, I'm so afraid to stretch my stomach.
That's what we see is and especially people that have dieted for decades sometimes. And they have this mentality, I got to restrict, I got to limit calories. And they failed all these other diets. And then you do a surgery and you're so worried, like you said, to mess it up and hurt it and you don't want to stretch things out. They're afraid to eat. Or their natural tendency is, I'm stalling my weight loss, I must be eating too much.
True.
And you want to restrict. And we're like, no. You got to go the other way. I need you to eat more to lose more weight. No. And so that's an old thing we work on that first year. But you've done phenomenal.
Well, it's been difficult. It's been you telling me when you first told me to try to get it up. I was doing 750 or 800 at one point. You're like, I need you to get up. You said 1,000 to 1,200, and I stayed down at the 1,000.
It sounds impossible.
And I'm like, okay, I'll do 1,000. I came back in. I was like, you're like, what calories? I said, I'm doing about 1,000. No, 1,200. I want you to move up. I want you to start moving up from that. And I'm like, no.
It feels so unnatural to eat more to lose more weight.
Right.
And it's you feel fine, but it's just you stall weight loss. You just stall it out, and so it's.
But everything else, I mean, it's like I had to purge my closet again today, get rid of all my 12 pants.
It's a great, great problem to have.
It really is, and I still have some body image things. Like I go and pull a medium shirt off the rack, and I look at it and goes, "There's no way I'm going to fit in that."
People do that. I mean, I have people that can't find themselves in pictures sometimes.
Yes.
Your mind is, you change so fast, that especially that first year, that you don't, your mind's not registering it yet. And you just naturally still go in the wrong area of the shopping.
I still go pull these clothes. I was cleaning out my closet today. A friend was over, and I'm pulling out shirts going, but I really like this shirt. It probably will still fit, and I'm pulling it on, and I'm like, I look ridiculous. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, no matter, even, some of my favorite, very expensive purple and orange clothes.
Those beautiful things.
They had to go, and I'm just like, just, passing them off to her kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, my brain needs to catch up, no doubt about it. But I stay with my program. Every now and then, I'll have something I say normal, which, like I had a salmon patty, a fried salmon patty the other day. But what I do when I have something like that, I was out with my mother at this really great country. Mm-hmm. You don't get anything healthy at these little country buffets.
You do the best you can.
Yeah. So I got like the salmon patty, and I got like some sweet potatoes, but I had a portion of it. I didn't eat the whole salmon patty.
Yeah, you can still eat. I want you to enjoy food.
Right.
You're going to go out and you be at a place, you just try to do the best you can making your choices. And overall, you're going to eat, but you can't even do much damage when you go to, you can't physically get much in. And
right.
It just it makes that diet part so easy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I keep my magic bag. I have everywhere I go. It's in my car.
Yeah.
If for some reason, like today, I forgot my water. I always have my water bottle. I forgot it. But in my magic bag, I have packets of flavor.
Yeah.
So I go to QT, I can get my bottle of water. If for some reason my magic bag gets left behind somewhere, I have an emergency bag in my purse that's got emergency.
Is it equally orange and purple like this one? Beautiful.
It's got a tiger on it.
It's just beautiful. I think it looks wonderful.
But it's got like banana, got a couple of oranges, a lot of apple, have some almonds.
That's a good looking bag.
Got an extra protein bar.
That is a good looking bag.
Yep.
I love it.
But I always have, when my friends go, I'm going on a girls trip this weekend, and all they talk about is food for 3 days. What are we packing? What are we taking? And it's like, I need to go get a jug of milk to make my shakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still drinking my shakes every morning. I start
still going on your girls trip though, having a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding? I look good. I'm going on the girls trip looking good.
I love it.
Yep, I have a blast.
Well, thank you for coming in and telling us your story.
Thank you so much.
You've done amazing.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. So.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.